Hello, Saloni.
Hi, Sai. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Welcome to Futuristic Parenting Decoded podcast with Codevidhya.
Thank you.
And thank you for accepting to do this. I know you're very busy, but having somebody like you on as a guest on this show will surely help a lot of listeners. So thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, so I will not waste any more time. I want to begin because when I was reading your profile, I was so interested, and it had so many of from here to there, and these dots I couldn't connect at all. So I want you to tell us. So you've had a fabulous journey so far, right? Like your career has been fabulous, and you were a gynecologist who is now a mindfulness trainer, an author, a speaker, a podcast host, and a blogger. So, I'm sure after that, our audience really want to know about your journey and how did it end up and how did you end up doing what you're doing right now after this massive career shift?
Sure, sure. So I think I would begin like from my childhood side that as a child, as most of children are, I was very inquisitive and very curious. But I also used to have interest in spirituality and big questions of life. Okay, why I'm here? What is my purpose on this planet? And when I was growing up, I grew up in a very small town of Haryana called Chajjar, and there weren't many, career choices or options. The mainstream choices, if you're a good student, were doctor or engineer. So I didn't like maths and physics, so I just chose medical science, and
Okay.
before I knew, I was studying in medical college. But somehow I just knew that I am not in the right place, and because my interest was always into psychology, understanding human mind and emotions. But again, I didn't know what to do with it, so I became a doctor. Then I did my post graduation, became a gynecologist, and got married as well in the same meanwhile. Yeah. And
Okay.
with my husband, then we went to UK for
Hmm.
higher studies in medicine. There he did his higher studies, but I got an opportunity to think about what do I want to do in my life, because I could
Hmm.
hear this inner voice telling
Yeah.
me that I'm not meant for this. And I
Correct.
think being in London and working in one of the best hospitals, I think kind of validated that what I'm hearing is something right. Because
Hmm.
if still now I'm feeling like there is something missing or something more for me, then I have to listen to this voice. So that's when I heard about life coaching.
Hmm.
It was perfect because I was already a mom by the time. I
Okay.
had a toddler, and second baby was almost coming
Oh
on the
wow.
way. So I thought, okay, I don't want to go to university, do psychology, but this is
Hmm.
perfect because I could do the training on flexible hours along with my job, with my family and my children. And so I did my qualification into life coaching. And life coaching is about life, which we all know that it's a vast field of psychology,
Absolutely.
spirituality. So then I met a psychologist there, Robert Holden, who became my teacher, and that's where my actually the beginning of my spiritual journey began there. And I learned meditation. I did my happiness coaching. I did mindfulness training, NLP, a lot of things. I was in the right place, I would say, to learn. I just first wanted to learn. And once I was happy, okay, I've learned, I want to now work as a coach. I resigned from my job as a gynec and I started my coaching. That was
Wow.
2009. And since then, there's no looking back. I have been working. Earlier, I was working in UK. And then we shifted back home because we always wanted to come back home. And I've been working as a life coach and trainer since then in India.
Wow, wow, that is quite a journey. Can I know how old are your kids now?
Oh, my daughter is 18, elder one is 18, and younger one is 14. And it's like
Oh,
a circle because now my elder one, she's going to college in US this year. Yeah.
wow, congratulations, and say hi to your family from my end. Now, when you call yourself a mindfulness trainer or a life coach, what exactly is your role and how does what you do impact people's lives? Because this is something which is quite new in for people to accept and understand. And do I really need a life coach? So, can you please tell us?
Sure, sure. That's a beautiful question because even though people are becoming so much aware, like I remember when I started in India in 20, 12, 13, most of my clients were women. But now actually most of my clients are men. That's amazing. So it's a huge shift. Lot many men are coming for coaching, and they are looking for higher purpose and meaning as well. But a lot of people still don't know, about life coaching, and it's not in the mainstream, I can say. So, as a life coach and a facilitator, as a meditation teacher, mindfulness trainer, my role is to really help someone in their emotional, mental growth. Basically, you can call it mental fitness, emotional fitness, spiritual fitness as well. As you know, we hire coaches and trainers for our physical growth, build muscles, and for workout we do for our bodybuilding. Exactly same way. Nobody actually taught us that we need somebody's help to build our mental muscles as well, our emotional, spiritual muscles as well. And because that reason is because in the old times, our parents were only thinking of survival. So which is just a good education, good school, good college, and then well-paid job. That's it. World has changed a lot since then. So now people, at least the people who are above, I would say, survival, level, they have food, they have a home. They are looking for more about, how can I evolve mentally, emotionally? How can I handle my stress and anxiety? So as a coach, when people come to me, a lot of people come to me for stress and anxiety in their work or in their relationships with their children, sometimes relationship with their parents as well or with their partner, and they are looking for ways to really become more calm, more relaxed, more peace they are looking for basically. And that's where my role comes into, to hold the space for them, to help them navigate their own wisdom, their own intelligence, because we all have heart intelligence, which whose heart
Absolutely.
knows how to be at peace. It's just
Exactly.
the mind, our belief system, and
Absolutely.
but all things, come in the way. Our conditioning basically comes in the way. So I help them, kind of break that conditioning, overcome those limiting beliefs, and then really tap into the potential they are to be the person they want to be. And that's my role. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. I learned something new today for sure because you are so right. When we go out and build up physically, there is so much that is going on inside which reads that a complete self, and which kind of has to heal by itself, and you have to be the person to heal it. So I was actually did download your ebook and immediately finished it in like half an hour, and I loved it. I loved it so much. And can you tell the people out there just a little bit about the books that you've written and the podcast as well that you host?
Sure, I would love to. So the
Yeah.
book actually came last year only when the lockdown happened in March. Actually, I released the book because in the year before 2019, actually, I was working with many people, mostly men again, who were coming with an issue of overthinking. So they wouldn't come with overthinking. They would say, I'm really stressed in my work and I don't know why I keep on reacting, and I really want to be a better person here. I know I can do it. And when we would kind of peel the layers, we realized that they were overthinking a lot. People think a lot. Some of them know, some are not even aware. So one of the actually that's where the idea of this book came, that how to stop overthinking in 3 minutes. So 3 minutes is a tool I've given, which you can do every single day, and if you practice
Correct.
that tool, because there are people who say, "Oh, I'm too busy for meditation." So it's like really bringing that awareness even in 3 minutes every day. Actually, you can really quieten your mind. So that was my book about. And
Okay.
my client, he just hates reading. He says, "Saloni, if you're writing something, please write short." So I'm like, all right, that makes sense, because for people who don't like to read,
Yeah.
people like me, we love reading, but there are people who don't find time for reading. So I was very happy to write a short handbook which will give an overview, not a detail, but an understanding of what goes into building, a mindfulness practice or also a clear mind. So that's what the book is about. And I've written a
Okay.
chapter on holistic parenting in New Age. That
Okay.
is in a book called Holistic Healing in the New Age. And the chapter was all about parenting from your wholeness. And
Oh,
my podcast, Raising Parents 2.0, is also about helping parents raise themselves. Because that's what I have learned in my journey, that my journey is not about raising my children. It's about raising myself to be the
absolutely.
person I really
Yeah.
want my child to become.
Yeah.
And if we can do that, and that's what I do, help other parents as well to become aware, conscious, so they can lead by example. So
Correct,
that's
correct. I loved few episodes of yours because I started listening to very recently. I'm not a parent yet, but there is so much of information that you try and gather very much before, so that okay, the first few years are going to be difficult because they will not understand what we're trying to say, but there is so much more that we can build ourselves, and we can say that, okay, this is what they can be. And I think you're doing a phenomenal job by making podcasts like this and by writing books like this, so that I think parenting is a topic alone is never been it's never come out of its shell. Everybody thinks it's only one particular way, like you thoroughly mentioned. So thank you so much for talking about that. So we at Codevidhya, we teach children from the age of 6 to 16 how to code. Now, I know you don't know much about coding, but I want to talk to you about how important it is to have mental health, for kids to have mental health and mindfulness. How important is it? And is tech and mental health two different things, or children now can find a bridge between the both? I know you're not into coding and everything, but I want to know, you do use your technology, and children do now are using technology. Is there a bridge, or should they build one?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's very important because nowadays and as going further in future, children will be using a lot of technology. So technology is a part of our life and it's here to stay. It is as simple as that. And I know coding is now children are interested and parents are interested in teaching their kids at from a very young age. So first of all, let's talk about mental health. It's even more important, I would say. It was always important, but in our time, this is how I put to parents and teachers and trainers like you as well, that in earlier times the world was different. The exposure was not huge, and we were living in a community like where I grew up. I would stay outside, do my
Yeah.
homework, and then play outside. Kids nowadays, they are into nuclear families. Community
Yes.
feeling is not there, and they
Yes.
are usually stuck in their own room. So parents keep
Hmm.
telling me, my son, my daughter, they don't come out of their room.
Hmm.
Always, they are on the screen. So that is hampering their mental health and emotional health and physical health as well, because they are linked anyway, right? So first thing is to really understand for children as well as to parents, but again, not force them because that does not work, especially with modern children, but gently encourage them to really spend some time, let's say, outside as well. Now as the lockdown has up, we are open, so at
Yeah.
least they can go out in the park, meet their friends, whatever they can do,
Yeah.
go out, do cycle or jog, play with the family as well. So parents
Hmm.
also, kind of make sure that
Hmm.
something they are playing with their kids. It can be cards, board games, if possible
Hmm.
outdoor as well, depending
Hmm.
upon the age and interest of child. So that will take care of their mental health.
Hmm.
Also, they can use technology. For example, I do teenage workshops, and it was very interesting. Once I did, just like an experiment, I did a mindfulness, exercise with the kids, and they were age group 11 to 16. And I was surprised. I didn't think that they would like it so much. By the end of
Okay.
exercise, nobody wants to open their eyes. They're like, we really enjoyed it. It's so good because they're completely calm and
Wow.
relaxed. When I said, okay, now you can open your eyes, nobody wanted to open their eyes. So actually, it can be really good. Not every child would do that, but we can gently encourage or just
Hmm.
kind of propose to children that, okay, this is
Absolutely.
meditation for children or mindfulness practice for children. Do you want to kind of try? And a lot of children are doing that. So I think
Hmm.
that's where we can bridge the gap. Also, there are talks like that talks, very good talks are there on understanding mental health, understanding issues they're going through. So
Hmm.
because of social media and technology, they are going through a lot of like
Yeah.
cyberbullying, for example, and
True.
there are people who are helping children to kind of navigate this world.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's where technology can also be very useful to help them learn.
Wow. Wow. So you're saying the role of mental health in technology is kind of coexisting?
Oh, of course, yes, yes. It's about how we are making the most of it. That's
Absolutely.
that's the point.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whether technology is using us or we are using it.
Oh, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. And I think we've become slaves of technology right now because we can't run our jobs or our lives right now. But we also have to find that balance. And I think that's the best thing that you do. I want to ask you about last year's pandemic. It was not an easy year, not for the parents, not for the children, not for adults, not for senior citizens. Uh, Lives have drastically changed, and even for children they've changed much more because They could not go out, make friends, socialize, exercise. These are the things that, like you said, when you were young, you used to finish your homework, go out and play. So these were the kind of things that, completely they was taken aback. Um, I want to know, how can parents make sure that, because there is still lockdown in quite a lot of places in the world, they still fill up all these things? Let them socialize. How will they make friends? What are your few tips that you can give parents so that they make sure that they don't lose out on these aspects?
So very first thing is that parents have to work on themselves. I think you already know knew it's coming. Yeah. So as parents, we have to work on ourselves because if we are not leading a balanced life, if we ourselves are, for example, if I ask my daughter to, okay, you should work out, take care of your, physical health, eat well. If I'm not doing it, of course, they are not going to listen.
Mm,
I cannot, at all expect my child to listen to me, but I am not actually showing them that I'm doing. So that is the first step. Whatever you want your child to do yourself. If you are busy in your work all the time, you are a workaholic, do not even think that you have a right to tell your child that, okay, you should go out, right? So that's the first thing. You lead by example. Second thing is there are children nowadays, like for especially teenagers. I know that I have two teens at home. You can't force them. So the last week, monsoons have started in
mm, mm.
Tamil now. And it was raining, and we were in the balcony, and they were like, oh, feeling like they want to go, but rather than pushing them, I said, oh, I'm going in the rain. And they
Ah,
just immediately came and they actually enjoyed. So in the beginning, they were
yeah,
reluctant. So whenever you are open, you are more, kind of also feeling free. You don't have to, be stuck in the home all the time and keep on working. You can have some fun. You can really relax as well. Be calm. If you are doing that, you will encourage your children naturally to do that. So that is
absolutely.
something. So again, as much as you can play with children, as much as you can spend time with them. And I see a lot of parents don't realize that most of their conversation and communication with children is about, have you finished your homework, are you listening in your classes, have you done this, have you done that, finish your food, have you taken a
Yeah,
shower? Okay, I know, I'm a mom, it is important. Even I
yeah.
ask my children, oh, please take shower. But the point is keeping a balance. So
Mm,
making sure, and I give this simple tip to parents, 5:1 ratio, which means if you are doing one nagging or one criticism, five good things. So maybe five connection points, like
wow.
just listening to them. Okay, what's going on? Because you can read your child's face instantly.
Yeah,
You look at your child and feel something has gone wrong.
yeah,
Maybe they are just bored in the class which is going on. They're missing their friend. Be there and listen.
yeah,
And if they are doing anything good, appreciate that.
yeah.
It looks like a thunder is coming here.
Oh,
It's
that's
yeah, it looks like it's gonna rain very soon. So
wow.
there might be some thunderous noises on your
That's
podcast.
all right.
So that is important that we are not only talking about work, productivity, because I meet teenagers all the time who are beating themselves. Oh, today I was not productive. I was feeling so bad about myself. So we are conditioning them in the wrong way.
Absolutely. That's a great way to put it. And I loved your article on mistakes parents of Gen Z don't make.
Yeah.
Don't make. So, can you elaborate on those qualities of conscious parenting? And before that, please explain to the parents what is the category of baby boomers, millennials, and Gen Z.
Oh, yeah, sure. That always confuses people. I used to be very confused till my children told me, okay, you know what? There is Generation Alpha as well. I'm like, what is that then? I have no idea. So I read it once. So basically, baby boomers are actually like much before. So I used to think I'm one of them, but we are not. So baby
Okay.
boomers were people who came after World War II. So
Hmm.
immediately the industrialization started, and baby boomers were who were born between 1946 to 1964. So
Hmm.
these people are now actually in their 60s or 70s. And then we were from Generation X, right? That we came, we are in our 40s now. And then came the millennials. These are children who were born actually, I think, before 96 or 97, before that. So they
Yeah.
are in their 20s and 30s. They are in jobs. Most of them are in their jobs right
Yeah.
now, at young age. And Generation Z, my both children are into Generation Z. They keep on telling me, Gen Z, don't do this, don't do that. I'm like, okay. So these are children who are born between, 2000 and 2010. So I think 1999 to
Yeah.
2010, early 2000, years. And they are into schools, most of them, or early college.
Hmm.
And Alpha is just very young children after 2010 who are born, they are Generation Alpha.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I also, my kids told me that. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is good to know, because you have to be well versed with what your children know. So we are learning all the time with our children, right? So,
Absolutely.
what the parents of Generation Z, like I am, I think if you're really conscious parent, the first thing you don't do is you don't be a hypocrite. Because let me tell you, my children have told me and my husband on our face, you are being a hypocrite right now. We can't be hypocrite, which means if you say something to them, do this, be this, and you yourself are not doing it, they're gonna catch you and they're gonna tell you on your face,
Correct.
this is wrong. And
Hmm.
they are very highly aware children, and I'm sure all parents can relate with that. Children who have teenagers in their homes right now, they're highly intelligent, highly aware mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well. Like the kind of things my daughters have told me when they were just 12, 13, I would be like amazed, I didn't know this till 25, how do you know
Wow.
this? And they're like, really, you were so dumb, we just saw it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So in our times, because of less exposure, we didn't know much,
Yeah.
and now they know everything. Internet, like, world is the oyster, they know everything
Yeah.
much before. So first, don't be hypocrite. The second thing is to really know that you can't be authoritative or authoritarian parent, because they are not going to conform, or you can't expect your child to be obedient. And actually it's a good thing. There was a research done in the US, that in the college, where they found the children who came from houses where they were very obedient, they actually fall into bad habits like addiction much faster. They go because they can't say no to people when they are offered drugs and alcohol
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things, which is a very valid point. Let them say no at home. And don't be authoritative parent. Let them think independently. Let them access their wisdom, their intelligence. Let them know that you trust them. That really works. So that is very important. And be mindful of all your actions. That's important. What you're doing, be mindful of that, and don't tell them to conform with the society's ideas, because we ourselves, we have come from a kind of parenting where we were told, okay, everybody does this, so you do this as well. I think
Correct.
that's the worst thing to tell your child. Rather, we should encourage them to carve your own path. Do work hard for whatever you want to do, but you find your own calling. You find your own. That's what most of parents are also now doing. They let their children to choose their career, be independent, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because again, if they don't do, and if we force them into something, they're gonna regret and resent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So these are a few qualities of, yeah.
Wow, I really enjoyed that complete article very much, because it did not seem like it was a problem until unless you put it out there. So that was something really good. And you are from a different generation. I'm from a different generation. Now we're talking to the parents who are of a different generation. There's a lot of parenting differences, right? From then now. How do you think parental mindset is changing for good?
Oh, a lot, a lot. I tell parents, first thing I tell parents, that between you and your child, it's not just one generation gap. I feel there's a 10 generation gap.
Right.
Because when I was born, there was not even a TV. Leave alone computer, internet. I didn't have TV at my home. I remember it came much more later. And that's, I think, for most of the parents of my age who have teenage children. And now children are born with mobile phone. I mean, a 3-year-old can play a better video game than I will. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And again, as I shared earlier, parents, my grandparents, they were only worried about survival. Oh, we just want to make sure the child get good education, good job, and then we have done a good job. But not now we can see, like, I all the time I'm getting parents who are so worried about the child's mental health, and we all know that mental emotional health is so important. Even if your child is going to Harvard, we most of the time it's not even shared on media, but there are so many people in Harvard who go through, like, I mean, Ivy League universities, who undergo anxiety, depression, they drop out, and people are not talking about that. So it's important, now for parents, it's important to be knowledgeable about it and take care of their own mental health as well,
Correct.
and putting their children's mental health on the top, which was
Correct.
not the case in our
Yeah.
parents.
That's
Yeah.
correct. That's correct. So I see that to be a very, very good thing. And like you said, technology is taken over all of us. So we kind of understand how much we have to spend time with technology and how much we have to spend time with mental. Are you good, Saloni?
Yeah, your voice was cracking, so I couldn't hear if you asked something.
Okay, fine. I'll just start from again then. Like you said, the mindset is changing, and that is changing for good. I want to talk about how we've seen children glued in front of the screens, especially from last year, and a lot of parents. I'm going to probably make a few enemies because I say this, because a lot of parents give screens to their children to keep them quiet.
Hmm.
All right. As a life coach, you too must be taking few sessions. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I cannot push it. So, what can parents do in this situation rather than just giving a screen to keep them quiet, or giving them a screen all the time? What can parents do?
So first thing I would say as a parent, parents feel very guilty already of that. So I don't want any parent to feel guilty of that,
Okay.
but learn how to deal with this situation, because there will be times when, as a mom, as a dad, you are yourself exhausted. Maybe your own mental health is not in the right place, and it's okay to give your. First of all, I want to make it clear: it's okay to give your child screen for some time. The balance is the important point. I know, I mean, it's not good to give screen to a toddler. It's not good for their brain. But again, we have to look at the whole picture, what's happening. So every family is different.
Yeah.
Maybe, for example, people have lost jobs. So if a father and mother are really struggling to even put food on the table, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I don't think that we can actually blame them that if
Yeah.
they want their child to be quiet and they're thinking how to, really financially get back on their feet.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of things here, right? But how to keep the balance, that's important, because too much screen is not good, not
Hmm.
for toddlers, not for teenagers, not for any age, not for
Hmm.
adults.
Not
Simple
for
as that.
adults. Yeah.
Yes. So again, a lot of adults are addicted to screens now.
Yeah.
Working from home, people are distracted. So I work with a lot of corporate, people, very senior leaders as well, and who always confide in me. I am on my meeting. Meeting is just getting boring, and I'm on my email and checking my WhatsApp, completely distracted, which might seem like a good idea at that time, but later they feel that there's too much happening in my mind. There's a chaos,
Yeah.
there's a clutter. They don't feel calm and relaxed because of that. Right? So this is important. As an adult, first of all, we again lead by example. So keys focus on having a balance. So don't use screen too much. There is no need to go on checking news, WhatsApp, forward. There's so
Yeah.
many things we can avoid. Social
Yeah.
media. If your business does not depend upon social media, you can always limit time just for fun, maybe a few minutes. That's all.
Yeah.
And then for the children, of course, involve them in different activities from a very young age. I mean, my daughter started baking at age of 6. And you children love, especially in young age, they love to do different things. Of course, you have
Correct.
to be
Yeah.
patient. So involve them in baking, in art, in games, whatever your child is interested. Every child is different. In reading,
Yeah.
if you can help cultivate a habit of reading from young age, it's amazing. So read
Wow.
books to your children if they are young. That's beautiful. I still read with my daughters. Sometimes we just sit and we all read because they have been doing it since young age. So all these things, and you will find different things to do for with your children.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so keep that balance, and a
Yeah.
little bit of screen is fine. So
Yeah.
if you really need some break, you can use it. But again, don't use it as kind of a pacifier for yourself. It is not. But balance is important.
Wow, that's a very good thing. I'm sure a lot of parents who've listened to this will try to find the balance rather than just giving the screen and keeping it, because it is very dangerous.
Yeah.
The light and everything is very dangerous. Now, how important do you think e-learning is for the future? Because you, as a life coach, you too must be taking a lot of sessions online, and I'm sure even you've done that from the past 1 year because of whatever is happening. So, how important is e-learning going to be in the future?
So absolutely, e-learning is the future. We all know that. Like
Yeah.
for me, my almost 100% of my work is online. Not in the pandemic, even before, because I work with clients all over India and internationally, many countries. So of course we have to work online only, and there is so much learning is happening. There are so many academies online. We know about Coursera, Udemy. They're really just like in everything they are offering now. So many, companies are actually offering now e-learning courses. So it is really good, and it also helps, whichever age group, children, teenagers, even adults, to get different kind of learning from the comfort of their home, and at much better price as well. So definitely it's very important. E-learning is an important part. Again, we always have to keep coming back to the balance. So that is the only thing. So we are not only doing online. It's important to meet people outside as well, to go in the nature as well, to do some exercise as well. So just that is something. I think if we remember, balance is the word here. That will say it all.
That's the key. Balance is the key. Wow. Thank you so much. You've actually helped a lot of our listeners, I'm sure. I mean, at least me. You've helped a lot in just half an hour. So before we end this, I want to know what would be few tips that you could give to the parents who are parenting their children in this such ever-changing world. I think you mentioned VUCA. VUCA is the
Yes.
abbreviation. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a volatile. What's that again? Uncertainty, volatile.
Volatile, yeah, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So that was a definition given by, I think, a psychologist. I don't remember who was it, but this is a book of word, and it is truly true in the pandemic now. It's completely volatile and uncertain, and there is huge complexity and ambiguity right now. So first thing is being, as a parent, being okay with uncertainty. So many of my friends, my clients nowadays call me and tell me my child is all the time on screen, they don't want to go out, I'm so worried and I'm getting anxious. So the first thing is, are you okay with uncertainty? Because we are not certain. I don't know when my daughter is going to go back to school, when it's going to open, and when it opens, everybody's worried, will we send them, because young children have not been vaccinated yet. So there is so much uncertainty around right now in the whole world, about economy, about everything, right? So first thing, can we be okay with uncertainty? This is a question, ask yourself. Because if you can be okay with it, if you can stay calm, relaxed, not react but respond with your inner wisdom, your children are going to follow you, your lead. So that is a simple message. And as a mom, I know it's hard, because right now children are really struggling. Most of the children, especially like all our age group, actually, they're really struggling. They have not gone to school for more than a year, and they're missing their friends. They're feeling sad, anxiety, and they are really desperate to meet their friends. And sometimes they're really sad as well. Some children
Yeah.
are really having huge level of stress, because I
Yeah.
do coach teenagers as well, and I know that what they're going through. As a parent, it's really hard, and we just kind of want to fix this,
Yeah.
but we can't. So the first thing is to just be okay that yes, my child is going through this, and I can stay in this space without trying to fix it. Just be present, just listen, because in listening, the healing will begin. Will be slow. Let them really heal themselves. So it's like really accepting my child has their own journey. So we didn't know our children are going to go through this pandemic at a young age,
Yeah.
but when we accept my child has come on their own soul journey, and there will be things I can't control, I can't fix their pain, but the more I accept that, the more they heal.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, normally we put our own anxiety on them. Oh my God, I'm so worried about you. And now the child is thinking, I can't even
Yeah.
tell my parent now what I'm going through, because they're going to be so worried. And that's very common. Yeah. So this is the message, that you be okay. And also, very important thing I would like to just add with as well, self-care. So in this whole, parenting thing, most of parents completely forget self-care. They're either working, or then they are hovering over their children. So hovering again, conscious parents, they don't hover, rather they accept and trust their children more, and work on their own self-care. So taking time for yourself, taking time to sit in nature, to read, to just listen to music, because that will help you calm down your nerves. You will be more present to your children, you will be listening better, and that creates a beautiful family environment, rather than a parent who is so stressed out because of work, because of the pandemic, and now the children are also not
Yeah.
paying attention in the online classes, and so much argument happen, which is not good, not a
Right.
healthy environment. So take care of yourself and create a beautiful environment at your home.
Wow, I think I'm just mind blown because there are so many things that we can understand just by meditating. I think, which I do, and I find it very, 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 and I've been practicing this for the last 2 years, and I find this, it's all about just breathing, but the clarity of thought is so much more clearer. And like you said, the balance is the key. I think the entire thing that we've spoken about, the balance is the key. So, Dr. Saloni Singh, thank you so much for doing this. It was a lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Same here. I really enjoyed, and you are a
Yeah.
wonderful host, Sai. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That really means a lot coming from you. And I hope you do take care and say hi to your family for me, and all the best. And we will definitely push a lot of people to go and check out that ebook because I'm sure that will help them out.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Sai. Bye
Thank
bye.
you, ma'am. Bye. I'll just stop the recording.